I don't even know who this come from.
Give me that. You can't read? I'm 60 years old, motherfucker can't read. Yeah.
Dear Dad, I passed all my finals.
Oh, and yes, it is true. That letter was correct. I passed all my tests. Can you believe it? Every single one of them. All of them. I didn't even get a D. I got 2 C's and 2 B's. Can you believe it? It's crazy. I honestly thought going into it that I'd terribly fail and that'd be it. But I also had the drive to pass, you know? Like, I didn't have a choice. It was either I pass and move on, or I fail and stay another year. I don't want to stay another year. I'd be embarrassed. And I don't know. I just did it. I believed in myself, and it happened. You know.
Look, I'm just gonna get straight to the point and start this off by asking the simplest question you can ask a person. What is the meaning of life? So many people, young and old, have a tough time answering that question. But wouldn't you think that should be the first thing that we figure out? The purpose of our lives, the reason why we're doing everything that we're doing? There's no right or wrong. Everyone can have their own answer, but to me, the meaning of life is happiness. I really believe that everything that we do throughout our lives is because we think it'll either make us happier or less unhappy than if we didn't do it. Even things that we don't want to do, like studying for a test all night. You're not going to gain happiness from studying. Nobody likes to study unless you're some kind of freak. You do it because you think it will eventually lead you to happiness, just like everything else that we do. Studying will help you pass a test, and you'll be a lot happier if you pass a test than if you fail. Passing a test will lead to better grades. Better grades leads to better colleges. Better colleges increases your chances of securing a better job. And, oh, sorry, my phone locked real quick. Just 696969. Better college.
Like, there's no greater feeling than that. There really isn't. Like, there's nothing better than experiencing the fruits of your own labor, basically. There's nothing better in life than that, I have to say. But anywho, let's go ahead and join the room. Alright, so to answer Dark Souls' comment on why the description isn't always tailored to the game I'm playing or what exactly I'm doing, is because a lot of the time when I'm editing, I don't want to spend those extra minutes editing the description, because it takes a long time to record and make the video, of course. But that's not the case for live streams. For live streams, I have a different set of descriptions for it, and it takes different steps for me to change that. It's not a lot, granted. It's just not something I want to do every time. So especially for the live stream on my channel, the main one on MaxMASK, especially on live streams on that one, a lot of the time I won't edit the description on there, because again, I live stream on 2 different channels with 2 different descriptions, and that one is granted really old. And at the time I didn't want to edit it. I halfway edited it, and then I just let it go. So you can see at the top it says Lost Saga, and then at the bottom it says chords. And lastly, sometimes you can also find hidden messages in the description. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I kind of left them there for people like Dark Soul who check the description, people who like to help out. I left them there as a little thank you, or a little surprise per se. So for those of you who haven't checked the description in almost every single video, there are times where I post hidden messages, sometimes translated too, in the description, just as a little joke hidden behind the wall per se. Yeah, that's why I don't always have a description of videos or live streams. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and start off by answering one of the questions probably no one asked. Why did I not record yesterday? Why did I skip a day? I didn't mean to skip a day. So after testing all day, basically burning my brain, I got home, I played 3 games of League. I had to walk home actually, because I left the school early. So what happened was that I was excused for one of my tests, Like, I was excused for an AP test that I wasn't signed up for. So I thought, why not just go home? So instead of wasting 2 hours just waiting in class, I instead just walked home for an hour and saved myself an hour of time. So that was cool. So after that, I walked home for an hour. I played 3 games of League, so another 3 hours of doing something. And then it was about like 5 o'clock when I started to eat food. Like, I ate a bowl of rice and that was it. And I don't know what it did, but it put me in like a sleepy mood. I don't know. So I hopped in my bed and I slept from 5 until 12 in the morning. And that was like on the day before my next test. So there are 2 testing days. It was that day, and then the next day I had another test. So it was 12 a.m., right? And I'm over here waking up in panic mode, and I'm like, what the heck? How did I sleep for this long? How is it possible I sleep for 7 hours when I'm supposed to be taking a nap, you know? Like, how is that possible? And somehow I did it. So I woke up at 12 and I'm wondering, what do I do? So I had 2 tests I had to pass the next day. I had to pass history and math. If I had failed either one of them, it meant failure for the entire thing, and I'd have to repeat the courses, which I really don't want to do. So I had to pass both history and math. History first. So I thought, wait a minute, no, I had to pass history, just history. I'll talk about math afterwards, but so I had to pass history, and I didn't study at all. I was supposed to study that night for a couple hours and memorize all the questions and answers and see if I could answer them in the test, you know? Like, I would actually study really hard to pass that one test. And for some reason, I sleep through my entire day, wake up at midnight. So I'm wondering, do I stay up and study all night, or do I go to bed and wake up early? So I thought, it's a history test. What can I do? If I'm going to be studying, shouldn't I study during the daylight when I have more time? That obviously wasn't even an option anymore. So what could I have done? Could I have stayed up all night and studied instead? If I did that, I wouldn't get much sleep. I'd be drowsy during the test. I might forget everything I studied too. Not to mention, it'd be a waste of time because it's really late, and I don't function well when it's like late at night. You know, like my brain's already tired. So basically, I thought maybe I should just review and like, you know, to get it all down and then go to bed and then wake up early and then review again. I actually ended up just going to bed all in all, because I thought, if I review tonight, I'm probably gonna forget it by the time morning comes. So there's no point for me to study that night for 10 minutes to wake up and do the same thing. So I woke up early the next day at about 5 o'clock, right? And I studied for that hour. I studied the questions. There are like 40 questions in the review. I studied them all. I tried memorizing them like it was like a spelling bee or something. And I'd say I memorized like, I don't know, 10 of them. But that's something, you know? It's better than nothing. So I memorized like 10 of them, and then when I got to school, like panic started to like ensue even more, because I heard it was like on paper, and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna draw the graphs, you know? Like, this is econ I'm worrying about. This is government I'm worrying about. What do I do? So I thought maybe I should find a way to cheat the test somehow. I was thinking to open my phone and like use my phone during the test to look up answers and whatnot, or look at the review. And I thought maybe he'd see it. It might not be such a good idea. So instead I thought of recording me reading off the questions and answers to see if I could like listen to it during the test. Which I did do that, except I didn't listen to it during the test. What actually happened was that the test was on the computer. and you know, tests being on the computer, you have access to the computer's capabilities, such as Google per se. So everyone, and not only me, I mean everyone, literally was on Google, googling all the answers from Quizlet, flashcards, etc. We were all looking up the answers and sharing answers and whatnot. And it was on that econ test that I got a 21 out of 25, which I'm not sure what it is right now because I'm playing La Saga. Like, believe it or not, I'm actually playing and talking at the same time, which is a little hard. So yeah, we're all looking at the answers and like sharing answers, just to see how far we could get. So yeah, it was on that test that I got a 21 out of 25. I'm not sure what percentage that is, but I knew that at the moment it was like about an 80%, I'd say, which is really good. The reason why I didn't get like a perfect score was because like the answers weren't word for word, so it wasn't always easy to find. It was like some of them were like relative questions about, like, I don't know, other people in real life, per se. It was like ones you had to think about. They weren't too brain dragging or brain burning, whatever. I don't know what it's called, but they weren't too challenging. So I still got it. You know, I still got it. Mostly Google, partly my hard work. And that was like a sigh of relief for me. I was like, oh my god, dude, yes, thank you. I got an 80. I was so happy and so confused at the same time. I didn't even know what to think, you know? I didn't know. And then next thing you know, I have to take the government test right after that. And lo and behold, the government test is also on the computer. I bet you can guess what I did on that test. Yes, I googled it. Everything. Every single question. I did not make the same mistake of the last quiz by just like figuring out answers on my own. Instead of like trying to figure out them, I would just like Google the entire question and look on multiple sources to find the answers. Which, granted, took a little while, but I still got it done by the end of the class. Which, again, I was really happy. And guess what grade I got in that? You'd probably think I got like a worse grade because it's government. No, I got a better grade. Can you believe it? I got 2 points better. I got a 23 out of 25 on that one, which is like a 92, I think. I got a 92 on the government one, and I was like, dude, no way. Bro, this is a blessing. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Computers, thank you. Thank the Lord I was born in this generation. How would I pass high school without computers? What would I do? So yeah, overall I got an 88 between both exams, and both classes count as one, so I got an 88 on the final for that class. Next thing to do, I had science. So it was about 2 weeks prior that we started a project that the science teacher said that if we found a way to make renewable energy, for say, we would get extra credit on our final. And our team, we did it. We didn't really do it per se. We bought a wind turbine. It's like a small little fan from Amazon that had a light connected to it. You blew in a fan and the light glowed, so that counted towards our percentage grade. So it's 10% better. He also said that if you did good on the post-test against the pre-test, if you got like 30% better at least, you get another 10% on your final. And I did that. That was actually my hard work. I didn't Google the questions. I actually did the work on that one. And I gotta say, that post-test was pretty easy, but all in all, I got a 70% on the post-test against the 20% starting out, because I just BS the first one. And that got me a 50%, guaranteeing my 10% boost on my final. Lastly, the final for the science exam, or for the science class, it was on paper. It wasn't on a computer this time. But like it's science. Science hasn't always been notably hard for me, per se. Science is more so like if you know the facts, then you're good, you know? Like it's more so like that. And I knew a lot of things. Believe me, I knew a lot. I paid attention in that class. Believe you me, I did. It was a fun class. So that test was on paper. It was about 72 questions, which was kind of weird because the teacher, he was a chill guy, you know? He was a chill dude, except it was 72 questions, which really baffled me. Like, was he messing with us? It really was 72 questions on paper. But all the questions were really easy for me because I paid attention a lot. And he was a pretty good teacher. Like, he always made sure that we were paying attention. So on the actual final itself, I got a 70 on my own. The almost exact same score as a post-test. It's crazy, isn't it? Okay, why was the bomb white? I kind of gave it away. But anywho, so I got a 70, basically the exact same score I got on the pre-test or post-test. I mean, that happened again. So yeah, I got a 70 on my own, basically meaning I passed it. Another test, I passed, but this time on my own hard work. And that was a sign. I'm blessed, bro. I didn't think I would get a 70. I thought I'd get like a 50 on the class, or on the test, or like a 40. Even with the 20% boost, I would have passed anyways with the 20% boost, but even without it, I got a 70 on my own, so it didn't matter. And I had a 68 in the class, so passing that test brought me up. Even if it like brought me down, it wouldn't have like brought me down enough to like fail me. So I was like, damn, bro, I'm golden. And then after that class, it's just weights, you know. Now let's talk about the day before. The day before, it was my second hour, fourth hour, and sixth hour. My second hour is like study hall, so I had 2 hours of study hall, and then fourth hour was English. The English tests. Let me just make this story from long to short. So I kind of sped through the English test so that I could go take my math final and have more time on it. Because that day I thought I had to take an extra test for college, like an AP test it's called. I thought I'd take one of those tests, but in actuality I didn't. But it was like in my fourth hour I was taking the English test, right? And that one was on paper. So in that class I had, or the teacher, he was a really nice guy. He gave us like extra credit assignments per se, and I had enough of those that it brought my grade up to like a 76 about, to the point where even if I got a 0 on the final, I still passed the class. So regardless of what I got, just as long as I took it or whatever, I'd pass. So on that test, I didn't bother reading the stories, the excerpts or whatever. I only read the questions, and I skimmed through everything. And even while doing that, I still got, what was it, a 72 on the final for English. I didn't read anything. I just like answered the questions with common sense, almost. And I got a 72 on my own. Crazy, isn't it? And then math. That one was terrifying. It was terrifying. But the test was on Math Excel. And for those of you that know what Math Excel is, Math Excel's pretty easy to walk around. But for those of you that don't, Math Excel is like a little online practice thing. It also has like a testing version, which the teacher didn't use, which I'm really happy about. He did on purpose, so then we get more chances to answer the questions. But basically, I'm being hit by my own skill. Damn. So basically, for every single question, I was either reviewing my homework, or I was Googling the answer, or the question, trying to find some kind of answer. I was just praying that all of it would work out, and it did. I got an 83 on it. I was like, oh, thank God, dude. I don't know anything about math. I used to be good at math when I was a kid, but Garbo. I'm Garbo now. And yeah, that's the story on how I passed all my finals. Basically, thank God for computers, dude. if I went to a high school that only had paper, or if I were in a generation that didn't have computers or whatever, I think I'd be pretty hard stuck in this year. I'd have some pretty big issues, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm just really happy that it all worked out. And that's what happened. That's why I'm so proud of myself. Can I get a round of applause? Then, anywho, that was a long story. But I'm just gonna go ahead and relax here. So that is all for today, everyone. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. That for now. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this. For my graduation, I'm gonna make a vlog video. If any of you want to see my beautiful face, you can. I did take a video of something I saw today. I'm actually gonna show it right now. But yeah, that is all. Mask on.
Better colleges increases your chance at securing a better job that makes more money, so you get a nicer car or a nicer house or eat at fancier restaurants, whatever it is you want to do later in life. Everyone does what they do because they think it's going to make their overall lives better than if they didn't do it. And the reason why I bring this up and why I think it's so important to understand the meaning of life is because life is going to become more and more hectic when you go off on your own. There's going to be so many more things that you have to think about that you never had to think about as a kid. I know I have. Because life is like a box of chocolates. It can be sweet, it can be bitter, it can get a little nutty, and you no longer have your parents around anymore to eat those disgusting raspberry ones for you. You gotta deal with those on your own now.